Hey guys, Jess with Peekaboo Wreath. We're back to work on our fall wreath today. So what we're doing here is, I know it's been a little while. Life's been busy, summertime's been busy. We got about a week left till school starts and we've been living our best life over here. But what I thought would be really pretty with this is I have this dark brown burlap shade and then this chocolate brown with the gold flecks. So I'm gonna do every other one of these ribbon tails in with either this green plaid or this stripe. So I thought the olive green would look really pretty with the green that we have going on. And then I'm also gonna put, remember we had this hula skirt from the Dollar Tree. I know it's kind of crazy, but it looks really pretty. It looks like natural raffia. So I'm gonna be adding a couple strands of those into each of the bundles as well. If you guys missed a couple videos ago, you can check it out in the video feed. This green is 21-inch mesh. I did like 10-inch loops in between each pipe cleaner, 12 on the outside, 6 on the inside. The 6 on the inside, they're 8-inch loop, like bundle, like pulling it out and putting it down. And then I cut 15 inches on this 10-inch mesh. It's burlap with cream stripe. All right, so let's get going. So again, I said that we're gonna do this dark brown on top of this green plaid. And we're gonna put one of these bundles and then we're gonna put, I was trying to count out how many pieces of raffia that we have in that skirt. And if my math is mathing correctly, there's enough for 3 each on the outside, but I do want to put some on the inside. So we're just going to cut 2, I think, so that we'll have some for the inside. So I'm putting it in there. I'm spreading it out like that so that you can see the green underneath the brown. I'm going to pull this skirt up and just cut. See how there's see how it's gathered here? So I'm just gonna do 2 of these, just cut them right off of the skirt and stretch it out like that so that there's a loop there. And then I'm gonna cut that and I'm gonna put it down into my pipe cleaner. Trying to make it even, the same amount on each side. I'm not opening up the pipe cleaner, I'm just putting it down in each of those bundles. So it looks like this. See, it doesn't look like too much yet, but it does look really pretty when it's done all the way around. It just gives a little bit of a rustic feel. And what I like too is I didn't want to cover up that green 21-inch mesh because I really like how it's got like a golden sheen to it. It's kind of like, you know, dimensional, and I like that. So we're just gonna go around. Again, if you need any steps before this one, whether it's wiring the frame or creating the bow, check out our other videos. We do have a few videos in there in the library showing different steps of the wreath. So we're not on that yet. We gotta stop and put in the raffia. It's kind of time consuming, but it really pays off. It's all in the details and it is kind of relaxing. But if this is a little bit tedious for you, you can either catch a lot of the videos that I make. I also edit them into shorts and release those on here and on Facebook, or you can just kind of maybe move forward to the part of the wreath making that you need help with or that is more interesting to you. So here we go. We're just putting these, we have again 12 on the outside, 6 on the inside. I'm kind of making sure that I'm following the pattern I had laid out. I had, I think, enough for 7 of these green with the white striped ribbons. And then I had the rest were the green plaid. So I kind of figured out the math on what order they needed to go in for it to all lay out right. This raffia kind of reminds me of a scarecrow, you know, like that corn stalk look. It's really a little nostalgic. Did you guys like to go to, or maybe you still do like to go to those, what are they called? Like haunted mazes, or maybe even regular mazes when it comes to fall time? I know that when I was like a teenager, that was kind of the thing to do, is to go with your friends to like the different mazes and haunted things. And even back then, I was not a fan. It's always very jumpy. I didn't like suspense. So I was always like, I know that this is the thing that people like to do. Teenagers like to do this type of thing, but I do not like this. Which, I remember one time I went into a haunted house and I made the mistake of acting scared. So then the workers just thought that was even more fun to kind of chase. So that didn't work out very well. Did you? Yeah. Do you guys like those? I remember even like those daytime ones where it was like just a corn maze. I was always a little bit unsure of that situation. I was like, well, has anyone ever actually got lost in this forever? Because this is I'm not a big fan of this, of being lost. But I don't know. I do like all the other types of things that they had at those fall festivity places. You know, I did like the regular hay rides and the cider and the donuts and all the smells and all that good stuff. I was a fan of that, and I still am. But it's kind of, I don't know, even now, I'm not a huge fan of the scary aspects of Halloween. Like, I like the cutesy Halloween stuff, like like my kids dressing up like superheroes and just like the fall festivity part of it, not necessarily the scary Halloween stuff. But I think the scariest we get around here around Halloween is we buy those fake spider webs. You know, you can buy like those big bags of the fake spider webs, and we stretch them out over our bushes and our trees out front, in front of the house. That's kind of, I mean, that's about as scary as it gets around here. But I just think it's adorable. We live here in Michigan where it is normally cold on Halloween. Not always, but I would say most of the time. So it's always adorable when my kids would dress up like superheroes, because then their winter coats underneath their costumes made it look like they had extra muscles, and it was just too adorable. So anyways, these ribbons are cut to 13 inches. The green ones are all 2.5 inches wide, and then the brown ones are 1.5 inch. I just like to do that because it kind of, it allows both of the ribbons to be able to be seen. And because even though I try to spread my ribbons out, I feel like many times they're still not able to be seen the best. So using 2 different widths of ribbon is a good way to be able to see both ribbons when they're in your wreath. But it's totally up to you. It does cover more of the mesh when you do use 2.5. But like I was saying before, with the reason that we're only using 2 strands of each of the raffia is because I did want to make sure that green mesh didn't get all covered up. I've been kind of noticing lately, I've been using more and more embellishments in my wreath, which is gorgeous and lovely and detailed and all the things, but it's kind of been covering up my ribbons and my mesh, which is a little bit sad. you know? We all like to see all the beautiful details and the hard work, I guess, but I mean, it's able to be seen up close and on the customer's door. So just gotta pivot a little bit. Some of these pipe cleaners I am opening up before I put the ribbon down in them, because as you saw and as I like to do, I cut down the pipe cleaners so they're not super long, and I didn't really take into account that I was going to be adding the 21-inch mesh and then the 10-inch mesh on top of it, and then the ribbon on top of that, and then the raffia on top of that. I just normally do the one kind of mesh and the ribbon. So there's a little bit more twists in that pipe cleaner, which is turning out just fine. But if you see me doing that extra step, that's what's going on there. We are almost all the way around our bottom layer. You'll have to let me know, what colors do you guys like most for fall? I knew that green was always a pretty color for fall for me. Excuse me. When I was younger, green was always my favorite color. So I guess it's kind of coming full circle, maybe. But I really like this green, and I had used a couple of those green pipe cleaners, or I'm sorry, pipe cleaners, green sunflowers. There we go. Sunflowers, pipe cleaners, you know, totally different things. Anyways, those green sunflowers, and I really liked the way that looked. I wasn't completely sold on that idea when I first bought those green sunflowers, but I do like it. It's pretty. You'll have to let me know what you guys think about green for fall. There we go. We have a few left on the bottom. I did post a video on here of a surprise bow, which if you guys were looking for this step when you saw that video, sorry about that. I did make this bow, the bow for this wreath, on a different YouTube video that I posted, but I kind of took a little bit of a detour and included a bonus bow that I made for one of my friends. I wanted to include it on here because it's just an extra little tutorial. As I said, we've been living summer. We only have a couple weeks left of summer break, and we have been busy, living it up. In case you guys didn't know, I am a mom, a full-time stay-at-home mom of 2 little boys, and they are busy boys. They're always running around, doing all kinds of things, and which doesn't leave a whole lot of time for wreath making, which is okay. I do work on it when I can, and I do some voiceovers if I'm able to record, but not able to be loud because it might be when they're sleeping. But I started making wreaths when my oldest would take naps, so that shows how long it's been, like 7 years. So since that time, a lot has happened, a lot has changed, but I've been able to continue to still make wreaths, which has been really nice and really fun and creative. It's a nice creative outlet. It's relaxing, it's motivating, it's all the things. Okay, we have one more to do on the outside here. I think it looks like there's a lot. I have a lot more ribbon in here than 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Might have to go back around and double check that I put ribbons and raffia on all of the outside ones. Or maybe I just miscounted, which is possible. But, all right, here we go. I'm gonna have to open up that pipe cleaner because that's a little bit too short. Just cutting taking that off. Taking the 2. And just tying it down in there. I know your camera angle isn't the best. I know once my wreaths start getting nice and wide, I'm not able to see them as good. Let me see. All right. Okay, I think we're good. And then we're gonna get going on our top layer. Let me see how many pieces I have left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23. We have 6. So let's do what? 3, 4. Let's see. 3. There we go. We're just going to put that in just the same as we did on the bottom level. Start moving to the top. I'm going to cut some more of that raffia. You could always just, if you didn't like the look of the raffia, like kind of wild like this, you could always, you know, move it and make it into a bow and not have it wild like that, but I think that looks pretty. And just keep on going around. I do need to add my sign in and my bow on the top here. Turn on my hot glue pot. Start planning out my embellishments. I haven't really gave too much thought. I know the color scheme I'm trying to go for. Let me see. How do you guys create? Do you guys create with like what part of the wreath do you start on if you're a wreath maker? Like what part inspires you? Is it like the sign first or the ribbon first, or what part of it inspires you usually? I know with me it could be anything. I know that with this wreath I did choose the sign and then kind of match the colors and the different tones in the sign to the different colors that I used in this. I've been kind of noticing I haven't been using a whole lot of orange, so I wonder if that has to do with it still being summer here and there not being a whole lot of orange outside. I haven't been feeling very inspired by that. I don't know, because even in that the sign that we're going to be using, it has orange in it, but I didn't include it too much orange in here. Maybe I'll put some orange leaves in. Maybe that'll be a good choice. You have to let me know. Are you guys starting to see signs of fall where you live? I know we go for a walk every day and I've been noticing some like fall leaves on the ground, but I think it's just because it's been so hot. I think we've been having some leaves drying out, maybe. I don't know. But we definitely still got a lot of summertime left here in Michigan. It was like, it's been like almost 90 here recently. It's still hot. August is hot here. All right, this is our last one that we're going to be putting on the top. I do have a few ribbon tails left, which I'll just set over here to the side. I'm going to put this in here, and then we're going to put our sign in and talk about our embellishments. This last piece of mesh right here, I don't normally put ribbon in there because it gets covered up by the bow anyways. I am going to put some raffia in there just in case So it just gives it like a little bit of extra texture to show through. So I'm gonna twist this one in here, throw some raffia in the next one, and then call it a day. So this is already measuring about 25 inches, a little over 24, I guess I should say. And it's not even embellished yet, fully embellished, I should say. The raffia is an embellishment, and so is the ribbon, of course, but I'll throw this one in here. I had already twisted it and tucked it underneath, but let's just untuck that real quick. And then throw that ribbon, or that raffia in there, excuse me. There we go, and twist it down. And then we're all done. So we're all done adding our ribbons and our raffia in. Next time I see you, we'll be adding in our bow, our sign, all of our embellishments. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our steps. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.